morning. I'm Elizabeth Bonilla.
And I'm Kenya Ledesma.
And today's top story is the Korean War. What sparked this war to begin was North Korea crossing over 38th parallel and invading South Korea.
Kim Il-sung had ordered the invasion, hoping to reunify all of Korea under his rule. Now let's send it over to our reporter Nancy Mendoza. What can you tell us about the 38th parallel and how did the United States took action?
On the day of June 25th, 1950, more than 100,000 North Korean troops crossed the 38th parallel and invaded South Korea. The attack came as a surprise to most leaders in the United States. In fact, the American troops were still stationed in South Korea. Even though the United States was not well prepared, the decision was made quickly. This is where, in President Truman's mind, the United States had to take a stand against communist aggression. Back to the studio. Thank you, Nancy. Now we go live with our eyewitnesses of the Korean War. We're here today with former member of the United Nations Security Council. What can you tell us about the UN and the rules?
Well, under UN rules, 5 key countries held the power to veto UN Security Council decisions. In other words, those 5 countries could single-handedly vote against a measure and defeat it.
Was there anyone absent during the decision on North Korea?
Now that you mention it, I do recall the Soviet Union representatives being absent. The Soviet Union was one of the countries holding a veto. Because of this, the Soviet representatives was not there to veto the use of force against North Korea.
Well, thank you, Alfredo. Now we move on. American troop that was sent to Korea. Why were you sent to Korea?
Well, the military force that was sent to in Korea was the United Nations force. We were told this whole attempt was referred to as UN police action.
Rumors speculate that United States declared war. Is that true?
No, ma'am. The United States never declared war.
With the military force sent to Korea and American troops already there, how were you capable of winning the war?
Well, luckily, other nations contributed to a total of 40,000 troops. A combined force and what was left of the Korean military in an attempt to save the country.
There it is, folks. You heard it here first, live in South Korea. We bring it back to the studio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. In the early hours of June 25th, 1950, more than 100,000 North Korean troops marched over the 30th parallel and invaded South Korea. The troops carried Soviet-made weapons and drove Soviet-made tanks. From the outset, it was clear that this was a dangerous attack. The future of South Korea was at stake of being overtook by communist power. President Truman saw it as a major threat, where the United States had to take a stand against communist aggression. Failure to defend South Korea might send a signal to other nations that the United States would not help defend their freedom. With this, his doctrine took into play to help South Korea fight against its communist neighbor. Truman pledged to aid any country that didn't want to be communist. Within days of the invasion, North Korean troops had pushed back South Korean defenses and captured the capital city of Seoul. President Truman then realized something had to be done. He asked the United Nations to approve the use of force to the North Korean invasion. The United Nations Security Council voted unanimously in favor of the force. It soon became clear that American troops were needed. The military force into Korea would be a United Nations force. The whole effort was referred to as a UN police action. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I leave off with this message. Will history repeat itself, or will it be even worse this time around?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today.
Tune in next time on Energy Star.